In May of 1901, while the French public was absorbed by the political chaos of the Dreyfus affair, a strange anonymous letter arrived on the desk of the Paris Attorney General. It prompted police to visit the Monnier estate in Poitiers. When officers arrived, the 75-year-old matriarch, Madame Louise Monnier, was perfectly cooperative, showing them through her pristine, luxuriously appointed downstairs rooms. But as the search continued upstairs, an inspector noticed a small door, chained and tightly padlocked. Madame Louise claimed it was a supply closet, but the officers sensed something was wrong and forced their way through. The moment the door broke open, a wall of pitch-black darkness and unbreathable, putrid air hit the officers so hard they physically recoiled. This was the physical manifestation of the family's secret, an immaculate exterior masking 25 years of intentional neglect. Lying naked on a rotting straw mattress was 55-year-old Blanche Monnier, weighing a skeletal 55 pounds. The floor beneath her was covered in a thick layer of human waste and decaying chunks of food, with bugs and rats actively scurrying across her body. Scratched into the walls of the room were words Blanche had carved during her decades of isolation. One must live and die in jail all one's life. To understand how a wealthy socialite gets erased from existence for a quarter of a century, we have to look at the most dangerous currency of the era: reputation. Back in 1875, 29-year-old Blanche was known across Poitiers as a vibrant, independent woman. Her mother, Madame Louise, was a severe, high-strung woman who ruled the family estate with total control. Blanche felt deeply in love with an older, impoverished lawyer. When she refused to end the relationship, she directly threatened the family's social standing and elite pedigree. Then, on March 1st, after returning home from a secret date with her fiancé, Blanche disappeared. To protect their status, the family engineered a web of misinformation. They told neighbors Blanche had been sent to a mental hospital, while telling others she had moved to a boarding school in England to marry a Scotsman. Polite society accepted these stories without question. Challenging a powerful, charitable, aristocratic family was a breach of decorum, and in this era, manners often carried more weight than the truth. Tragedies mounted within the tragedy. Blanche's lover passed away 10 years into her captivity, never knowing she was imprisoned just down the street. Records indicate the room wasn't always in total disarray. For 20 years, a dedicated nurse managed Blanche's care, keeping her stable. Conditions only plunged into filth after the nurse died, when Louise hired inexperienced maids unable to handle Blanche's worsening mental state. Blanche's brother, Marcel, later argued that the padlock on the window was a safety measure, claiming Blanche suffered a mental breakdown and would strip naked to scream at the streets below. Regardless of who provided her care, the priority remained the same: keeping Blanche hidden from the public eye at any physical or psychological cost. When the story became public, the reaction was immediate. A violent mob swarmed the Monnier estate, demanding justice for Blanche. Madame Louise avoided the legal system entirely by dying of heart failure just 15 days after her arrest, leaving her son, Marcel, to stand trial completely alone. Marcel was initially sentenced to 15 months in prison, but he won an appeal and walked away completely free. Ultimately, he was released on a legal technicality. At the time, French law had no provision for non-assistance to a person in danger. Because he didn't physically lock the door himself, the law could not hold him responsible for her neglect. The court's decision effectively prioritized the private autonomy of the elite over the physical safety of an individual within that family. After her rescue, nurses removed a 2-kilogram clump of matted hair from Blanche's head. She reportedly wept with joy at the feeling of clean sheets and the sight of the countryside. However, 25 years in total darkness caused irreversible psychological damage. Blanche had to be retaught basic skills, like eating with utensils, and would frequently ask to return to her dark attic room. She spent the remainder of her life in a psychiatric hospital until her death on October 13, 1913. Blanche Monnier's story remains a testament to the cost of prioritizing family reputation over basic human life and freedom.